Hi, I'm glad you came. My name, not that I have much use for it anymore, is Howard. We may not be acquainted, yet what I have to say concerns you, all of you. Bear with me for a short while, and you'll understand. Yesterday, I asked my friend Frank to come over. For the last 14-15 months, I had cut contact with pretty much everybody except him. He was what you might call my grip on the outside world. My research, my quest, had been a time-consuming passion. Training one's mind and body is a labor that demands devotion, leaves little time for friendship. It started rumors, but nobody had any real idea what I was doing. Frank's the only one who never talked behind my back. Don't ask me how I know. I know. So I explained to him that I needed his help for an experiment I was going to undergo later in the evening. Nothing fancy, me in a chair, experimenting with a mind-altering drug. He would act as an observer and record the session. Convincing him was easy. I knew his weak spot. He left to get his recording gear, and 45 minutes later, he was back. He set it up, occasionally laughing to himself. Hell, I couldn't blame him. Even I was skeptical. After that, it was my turn to get ready. To gather my inner strength and bring myself to a higher degree of concentration, I started reciting an ancient chant. At this point, Frank realized that I hadn't been 100% honest with him, but he was unmoved. As long as there was beer in the fridge, my actions could be as peculiar as I wanted to. I went on with the experiment and hoped that the years of research would finally pay off. The clash between theory and practice was about to take place. Nervously, I unwrapped a tiny pebble and swallowed it. Rapidly, I started to drift. Frank became but a blur, and the first thing I knew, I was gone. To my flesh and bones, I was no longer confined. My essence was flowing into infinity. Surrounded by millions of lights, living lights, each a different shape, size, and color. When I passed near a light, its glow would get fainter, and in return, I'd get a rush of information. Math, psychology, geomancy, alchemy. I was learning every subject and becoming a master of it. The mother of all knowledge stood before me, opened her arms and embraced the eager son that I was. I was going to be the first of a new breed of man. Suddenly, I stopped. Something was approaching. Its path was marked clearly by the lights, which seemed to die by the thousands as the thing made its way to me. At great speed, I went in the opposite direction. Still, I could feel it getting closer and closer. The wave of darkness was about to crash down on me, and all I could do was to utter a scream. That's when Frank woke me up. Certain that the drug was giving me hallucinations, he was quite pissed. He wanted me to calm down. I couldn't. For the time being, I needed to act. I had come upon a force unlike any other, and it was crawling its way back to me. I sensed it. My astral signature had to be concealed. My tracks hidden. I had studied my subject thoroughly, and thus was prepared to do so. I figured that if I got out of this alive, there would be plenty of time for explanations and apologies. I'd make it up to Frank. I really would. He didn't see it my way and screamed at me for a while. I managed to keep my concentration anyway and pressed on with my work. At this point, my biggest concern was with the duration of the procedure. Would the creature find me before I was done? Well, it didn't. I set about with great haste, and 80 minutes later, I was covered with runes protection. Now, I had to get my gun. I knew it was pointless. Even so, at that moment, it represented a little comfort, and I sure needed comfort. Frank didn't approve, and to show me, he did something stupid, something downright stupid. For a brief moment, sanity was out of my grasp. When I came to, my ears were ringing and I couldn't believe my eyes. I had taken the life of a friend and ironically sealed my own fate. My runes had been smeared by his blood. I was walking, thinking, breathing, yet I was dead. There was no sound of rushing air, no cloud of smoke, of deep echoing voice, just a strong odor of decay that assaulted my senses, and there it was, huge, horrible, deadly. Now that it has found a gateway to this world, it shall be the demise of all men. Sorry about that, folks.